All right, what's up, everybody? Today we are joined by Justyn-Henry Malloy, who's going into his junior season at Georgia Tech. As a high school player, he played for 4 years at St. Joseph Regional. Where in his senior season, he was first team All-State, All-County, and All-League. In 2018, he was ranked, that was his senior season, he was ranked as a top third baseman in the class of 2018 by Perfect Game and the fourth ranked player overall in all of New Jersey. He actually spent his first two college seasons at Vanderbilt, where he made 14 appearances as a freshman and 12 as a sophomore before we were unfortunately interrupted by the pandemic. But most recently, he transferred to Georgia Tech after the season was canceled. So a lot to talk about today. But Justyn, thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about. So first of all, this is something I never experienced, transferring from one D1 college to another one. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, I mean, you want to know more like about the transfer process?
Yeah, the process. Maybe what led you to look other places, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, what kind of led me to look into other directions? Obviously, I love my time at Vanderbilt. Like, those are all my best friends over there. But I thought like more of a career move and more of a move that I felt that I could and I should make. I wanted to, have a shot at playing third base, and third base is my first love. And here at Georgia Tech, like I'm getting an opportunity, a really big opportunity to play third base this fall. The fall's been going really well, and I love the coaching staff here, and I'm enjoying myself. And kind of the transfer portal, new rules thing. I mean, it was pretty simple. So I hit the portal, and like, I kid you not, like within 10 minutes, Coach Hall, like literally like right on my phone, I got a random phone call from, an Atlanta, Georgia number, and I pick up, and again, 10 minutes in, and it's Coach Hall, and I'm kind of starstruck, like obviously heard about him, one of the most winningest coaches in Georgia, Georgia Tech, like, and this is the first school, like, in my phone. So, I mean, like, it almost felt like it brought me back to when I was a sophomore in high school, or freshman, sophomore in high school, when I was getting recruited again. Like, wow, like it was a new feeling, but it also not so new feeling, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely, it kind of sounds like the waiver wire, most recently in pro ball. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. But it's always, good to feel wanted somewhere. Did you have any like idea of maybe where you maybe wanted to go? Was Georgia Tech even on your radar? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, like when I kind of, mapped it out with my parents and kind of like, okay, Justyn-Henry, like if this is what you want to do, we're going to pull the trigger on this. Like, where do you want to end up going? I wanted to stay in a powerhouse school. I really, that was kind of like one of the top goals. Like I wanted a chance to go, contend for, everyone talks about this national championship. And I don't really like talking about national championship that much, because I think that's very big picture. I don't think it's very, day by day, which,
sure,
should be day by day. But, obviously, let's be real. Like I want a chance to, win a national championship. And then
Right.
Georgia Tech was, in being the first school in my phone, and, me being in the portal 10 minutes in, and they're already kind of pushing. I was like, you know what? Like right then and there, I was like, this school's in the lead, and they're in the lead by a lot. And it was pretty much like I told my parents, I was like, I want to go to Georgia Tech. Like I want to go here. It was the first school. Like that's a sign. I wanted to take it as a sign and run with it. So I did. I'm here, and I'm enjoying my time here, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now you're obviously with Georgia Tech. As we're getting closer and closer to finally seeing, a college season, we obviously don't know, the full statistics and, general idea of the season quite yet because of everything going on. But what are you most looking forward to about being with Georgia Tech and playing under Coach Hall?
What I'm most looking forward to is kind of just getting back into the swing of baseball. I mean, we're obviously doing that right now with our 6-week fall schedule, but I mean, like with it, and trying to put this into words, you don't realize how much of a competitor you are until competition is taken away from you, especially like when it's dragged out under your feet.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of like, you're just stuck there. And then
Right.
like, you know, when like, what is it? It was like 6 months, March, April, May, June, July, August. And, you know, and we didn't get started, you know, scrimmaging until September. So, I mean, so 7 months, so 7 months of no competition, you know, no nothing. Obviously you get your reps, you do what you need to do in the weight room, but like the competition factor, and I'm excited about, you know, being able to compete. And you can see it right now in the fall with guys. Like guys are scratching and clawing. Like it's fun because guys missed competition, and competition is such a huge factor in what we do, what any other athlete does. But I mean, like, I'm very excited, you know, this fall, very competitive based. And obviously, like, you know, once we all get into one dugout and we see another color out there, like competition is going to rev up even more. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
it's funny you say that about, you know, competition. Like, you know, I retired last year, and what I didn't realize immediately was like I'd basically been competing against other guys and, you know, other teams and stuff since I was 5 years old. And
Exactly.
I'm
Yep.
32 now. It's like all of a sudden that's gone. It's like, oh man, that was actually a huge, you know, you obviously compete in other things too. And you probably find yourself, you and your boys, you know, competing over
Absolutely.
stuff that I'm sure you normally do anyway, but even more so.
Yeah. I mean, when it's funny you say that, because it's like when competition was taken away from me, it was like me and my dad, like we're competing against each other. Like just little things. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like it's not good to say, but like, you know, me and my dad would be at the same place. We're in two separate cars. Y'all race you home. Like things like that. Like,
Right.
you know, like just like small things, but it's
Going the
like,
speed limit, of course, obviously.
yeah, you know, yeah, of course. But like, you know, like it's competition, and you know, you find competition any way you can, and you know, baseball obviously being in the main competition just kind of taken away from you. So I'm very excited for that to kind of be coming back, and we'll get in the full swing of things, and hoping February, but also kind of hearing March. So I don't know.
Yeah. And now that we're on the topic of competition, I had the opportunity to actually interview Harrison Ray, which was a teammate of yours at Vanderbilt. He said the practices at Vandy were very competitive. Could you kind of attest to that? And, you know, the competition between you guys was just so intense that, you know, after practice, it would all just fade away, of course, just because you guys were such good buddies. And, you know, that's just how the game is. Could you attest to that?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, competition is great, but don't get me wrong. Like when I say hostile, like most people say, like what most people think like hostile is bad.
Right.
But like in my opinion, like that competition that what I was in was so competitive based that it almost turned into a hostile environment, which is very good because it replicates, you know, when you're, you know, Georgia Tech is going down to UGA, which, like, you know, I was fortunate to be down in UGA my freshman year. You're going into a place where, you know, they don't like you. It's going to be 27 guys with, you know, the coaching staff and then a trainer to say a combined 40 people against another team of 40 people plus, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 other people who are cheering against you. So, like, it created this environment where it was like, once you got into a hostile environment,
Right.
like, no, like, we're not foreign to this. Like, we're used to this. Like, I'm used to fielding a ground ball when the game's on the line, because in practice, if you didn't field that ground ball, you got guys in your ear chirping at you. Yeah. Just how the crowd would be, like, you boot a ball, like, they're in your ear. Like, it was a very good environment. And here it's exactly like that too, which I'm very happy about, because I don't mind it being as hostile as possible, because that's what it is. So I'm very happy about that. And Harry was one of those guys that made it very hostile, especially him being an older guy and me being a younger guy at the time. Like, those older guys were bringing you up.
Yeah.
Like, they got to groom you. So, like, you boot a ball, Harry's in your face. Austin's in your face. Like, and that's good though. Like, I think that's very good.
Would you say that kind of helped you improve as a player, your freshman and sophomore year? Would you say because of, that competitiveness, that competitive nature inside of the locker room and even on the field as well, you think that kind of molded you and helped you as a player?
Absolutely. For sure. 100%. No doubt. Like, that just kind of changes your perception of how, like, okay, there's practice, right? You could practice is fine. But then, like, now, like, we're training. Like, now we're getting into things. Now we're competitive. Now we're in each other's butts in order to raise everybody up to get to the standard that everyone needs to be. So I think that just brings up everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really bringing me back to my days at Irvine, because now I'm remembering when we would do scrimmages and stuff, we'd have, like, I guess you could call it the A squad, mostly the starter B squad. And actually, now that I remember, we called the B squad the Generals, because that's the team that scrimmages against the Globetrotters.
Mm-hmm.
But there was, like, this thing where, the Generals, they were doing everything they could to beat the A squad. And it got pretty heated sometimes, like, like you're talking about. But, in the end, it takes practice to another level that, honestly, having been there, I can say, like, in the minor leagues, you kind of lose that, because longer season, you're just kind of getting your work in, that sort of thing. It's not the same in college. So I love hearing those stories and that competitiveness.
Wow. For sure. That's wow. I mean, obviously not being there yet, hopefully, knock on wood, fingers crossed. Like, I want to be a professional, but, like, I think that that's a very valuable component, especially, in the college game, that competitiveness.
And, I'm not saying that, your goal shouldn't be to play pro ball. That's why you're there. It's just different. And it's something that is, I'm not saying never, but it's rarely replicated on the pro side. So, like, the college stuff is awesome. It's fun. There's nothing like it. So I'm a little jealous of go through it all.
Yeah, and JHen, coming out of high school, you were ranked actually 7th nationally at the position of third base. And then here in the shortened 2020 season for Vanderbilt, you started at the DH spot, and then you kind of transitioned into playing first base. What was that transition like for you? And, how did you kind of transition from, third base to first base and even DH so smoothly?
I think it wasn't, I don't want to sound like bad, but it wasn't hard. I mean, it was like, you play one position for so long. Like I was a third baseman. Like, I played third base in high school. All my life, I was always third baseman. And then it's kind of just being able to just be one, it's being a competitor. Two, it's, wanting to be a gamer. And three, it's just wanting to scratch and claw to get on the field.
Right.
I mean, at this rank, at this level, it's like, yo, like, I don't care if I DH. I don't care if I play first. I don't care if I play third. Like, I want to get out there.
Yeah.
Like, and I just wanted to get out there, and I wanted to play, and if you have that want to, and it's not very difficult, because you want to get out there. Playing first base, I mean, obviously, if they said, JHen play outfield, I'm gonna say yes, but I mean, like, I've never really taken outfield reps like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, like, all right, JHen, go play outfield. All right, let's I'll play outfield. Like, give me a ton of reps. Let me get something under my belt. But, like, all right, like, I'll play outfield. So, like, there's just more of, like, a want to than anything. So, yeah, that was kind of the help to help me transition through that.
I love that. Were you at all nervous, when you first found out that you were going to possibly play a little first base, for the first time actually consistently?
Not really. No. I was pretty calm, and I feel like that comes more from, like, preparation. Like, it wasn't like, I was playing third base, and then all of a sudden one day, like, I was at first base, and then it was game day and I was playing first base. Like, no, like, I took a ton of reps at first base. Like, it's coming in early, it's taking ground balls at a new position, different angles, everything's different. Ball comes off the bat, different, spins different. So it's just reps. So you come in, I took my reps, I did everything that I needed to do, and then by the time it was like, all right, like, here's your call. Like, it's your turn. Like, okay, like, I'm ready. Like, it's time for me to do what I've been training for, and that's play this position. So I don't think it was, anything crazy. I think athletes will be athletes. And if you tell an athlete to go, play a different position, like, they should be able to play. They should want to be able to play, and they should just want to be able to be out there. So I think that's playing first base was pretty cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, most definitely. And to wrap it up, JHen, Christian, I'll have you, after I ask this question, I'll have you, give your example because it stumps some people. But to wrap it up, JHen, what would you say is maybe one thing that, people wouldn't know about you? It could either be on or off the diamond.
One thing that people don't know about. Is it like more of like a fun fact?
Anything, really.
Anything?
Like one of our other episodes, Gordon Beckham, longtime infielder for the White Sox. We played together with the Mariners. He couldn't think of anything either. And I already knew what it was. He has the best Creed impression, the band Creed.
Yes.
Yeah, he has the best impression ever. Go check out the video. It's hilarious. But I have to for him. It can be anything.
Well, honestly, I would say that I enjoy, I guess, singing in my free time. Like, I think it's kind of just free and easy. I sing.
What kind of music? What kind of songs you sing?
I grew up around like R&B, like older R&B, like my parents. So I mean, like, I like that. I like Bruno Mars. I like Chris Brown. Like, I like that type of music. So I like to sing. It's fun.
Nice. Are you a good singer or a bad singer? Okay, somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in between. I can hit a note. I can miss a note. We'll find it right in the middle.
That's awesome. That's funny. Well, that wraps up everything I have, JHen. We really appreciate you coming on the Walk It Off podcast for this episode. It really means a lot. And Christian and I will, keep in touch with you, and, best of luck in the future. And best of luck.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
it was fun. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.